Hello, good morning. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Bakari Mr. Cole, I can never allow that.
No stress.
Duboko Musa Nangu. I mean,
Bakari, do you take stress? Mr. Cole, Bakari, do you take stress? Bakari, do you
So it's good to be here again, and it's Wednesday, the 24th of May, 2023, and we are broadcasting from our studios on Kairaba Avenue. I am Ibrahim Balde, and Julde, good morning.
Good morning, Balde. Good morning to Mr. Mboj and to our viewers from wherever you're watching us from. It's always good to be back on this platform to discuss about pertinent issues happening in the country and, of course, around the world.
Absolutely. Yes, Mr. Mboj, good morning. Our newspaper review guest is here.
Good morning, Ibrahim Balde and Julle Jai. Julle Balde, that's what I call you too.
Absolutely. She's my sister. You know? That's good. I mean, it's good to have you here, Mr. Mboj. I mean, we are about to delve into the newspapers. I'm seeing quite interesting headlines already. Yes. So it's important. We will be acknowledging our sponsors, Opticalia, from there. Then we will go to the newspaper review. So what we'll do, we'll be right back.
Medicalia is a high-quality clinic from Europe, which is now in the Gambia. Do you have an eye problem? Do you feel a hearing difficulty? Medicalia is here to ease the pain for you. The first and only hearing aid dispensing facility nationwide, where patients can be tested and treated to recover from their hearing loss. Fitted with latest generation equipment, our doctors can provide healthcare assistance for eyes, ears, nose, and throat. Common diseases like glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy can be diagnosed and followed up for fast and correct treatment. Make your appointment with the eye or ear, nose, and throat ENT specialist today to relieve any pain you might be feeling, as consultants are available daily. Contact us for more information. Visit us at Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week, or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123. Medicalia, premium care, personal touch.
Yeah, so we are back, and this is QTV this morning. We'll go straight to the newspaper review. We have the Foria newspaper here, and we have some of the headlines on the newspaper. Reads, Director of Audit unearths more irregularities in consoles. And of course, Senegambia Bridge construction valued at $4 billion. We have Gambia fact checkers refutes BCC story on soldiers lowering Bensouda's poster. We also have council spend on deposited bank revenues. We also have another one which reads, Fonyi Councillor Nam raises concerns over children's education. On the editorial, we have what is being done to end the fighting in Casamas. Yes, that's what we have here.
Okay.
So what do we have there?
I have the Standard newspaper and, of course, the Foria newspaper, the Point newspaper rather, with me. And the main headlines on the Standard newspaper reads, Sidat Job tells President Barrow to dissolve cabinet and call for opposition to a roundtable meeting. An action man calls Barrow to action. IGP urged to prioritize building public trust. And Afrexim Bank to commit $500 million to revive Gambia's agricultural sector, and Banjul to host international surgical conference. And confusion over reported death of MFDC leader, like Salif Sadio was reported to have died yesterday, but we understand that that is a false news. And company launches Ususu digitalization platform today. Those are the main headlines on the Standard newspaper, and of course I have the Foria. I'm always saying Foria. I have the Point with me, and it reads, Salif Sadio still alive, family denies Wharf TV death claim. And of course, Tourism Minister signs regulation of National Endowment Fund for Arts and Culture. And Minister Juf says military coups provoke instability, and state witness testifies behind curtains. And And auditor says stakeholders should act on the findings of their reports, and Gambia expects rainfall in early June. So these are the headlines.
Well, interesting headlines there. Let's start with the issue of Casamance. I mean, yesterday we received a shocking news that, I mean, the head of the MFDC rebels in Casamance passed away after a brief illness. I mean, according to a source, you know. But, you know, I mean, after engaging one or two people, and QTV deputy head of news, I mean, he said to me, no, I mean, it's a false story. I called Salif Sadio here today, and we were able to engage him on the phone. How false information can circulate quickly. Grapevine. Do we call it a grapevine? Or?
Yeah, it's a grapevine.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yes. Don't make this sound like Trump. Fake news. Well, yes, that is why we should be careful when we hear certain information, to make sure that we confirm, you know, double sourcing or even triple sourcing. That's really how we work. So yes, so now, as your headline reads, the family, they've come out and said, no, that is not true. And even that, how do you know? We are really in a trap, as they say, in conflict. The first casualty is the truth. So we'll sort of keep an eye out, as it were, and to see how this sort of unfolds. Is it true? Is it not true? We're not sure. That's an allegation. The family says no, but even then, you just do not know. I do not know.
Yeah, and this is not the first time.
I don't know.
This is not the first time news of such is imagining on the media, like people saying that Salif Sadio has died. I think this is the 100th time this is happening. So I was kind of skeptical. I shared it on my WhatsApp, but I was skeptical because this is not the first time people are reporting that he died. So I know that he will live long, because every time people are reporting that he died. So yeah, so let's just wait and see whether that's the case.
I don't know what is that element, I mean, there, that atom that people are interested to report Salif Sadio is dead. I mean, is it that his death will bring peace to Casamance, or something different? I don't know.
But that's it, you know, the leader, isn't it? So maybe some people think like that when the leader is dead, so possibly everything would sort of disintegrate. I'm not sure if that will happen in Casamance. Before Salif Sadio, there were other leaders, as it were, and then when they died, it didn't end, as it were, the conflict there. So I'm not sure if that will necessarily obtain.
I want to ask you a question, both of you. When you talk about Casamance, you talk about the rebels. What mental picture do you have? What mental picture? For me, I'll tell you my mental picture, the picture I paint of Casamance.
Mr. Would you want to go first? For me, these are people who are hell-bent on having their independence. You know, they are people who feel that they are not really part of the Senegalese people, and they feel that, you know, they have been neglected for far too long, and they needed their own government, their own independence, and they are all self-rule. So as far as Casamance is concerned, these are people who are totally, you know, who consider themselves totally out of the Senegalese, you know, territory as far as governance is concerned, as far as development is concerned. They believe that they are the only people who can effectively manage Casamance, and they are the only people who can actually rule Casamance the way they really want Casamance to be, and not the Senegalese government. Yeah, so and I feel that Salif Sadio and his people feel that, you know, they've been used over the years, that the Senegalese government just need them because of the resources that they have. I mean, Casamance is really rich when it comes to natural resources and all that. So they feel that, okay, maybe they are in, like they're in a trap, like they are trapped, you know, and all that, in a hole that they are finding it very, very difficult to really go out of. Mr. Mosh, help us.
Well, you call them rebels. They don't call themselves that.
Rebels.
They call themselves separatists. It's a separatist movement. And that is it. They claim the neglect from Dakar, from central government. And then their identity, this is sort of like an identity issue, really. They don't feel that their identity, they fit within Senegal. They see themselves as a separate group, separate people, so they want to rule themselves. But again, you do find this phenomenon, this sort of thing all over the world. You have in some countries, you have a small group that wants to separate itself from the larger group. Of course, the larger group, it depends, especially when that area is sort of resource rich. Well, central governments sort of are very reluctant to let go. But here you realize that perhaps what they can do is come to some kind of negotiations where the separatist movement, the group, will have some kind of autonomy. In the end, you find that that's really the kind of negotiation they tend to have. You will have autonomy in so many different areas, but perhaps in foreign affairs you wouldn't, or defense, security, stuff like that. So they're bound to have some kind of negotiations there, because these things are unwinnable. Yes, central government, you do not win this kind of conflict. You know, so it's been a low intensity conflict since 1982, the longest running conflict in Africa, really, possibly continual. It's been continual, no intensity, but it's not going anywhere. It's got to be sorted. You know,
that reminds me of when you mentioned Casamance, it reminds me of a country called Somaliland. You know, this Somaliland, it's also another separate, you know, group of people from Somalia. According to the other time I was reading about Somaliland, you know, they were also claiming for independence. And now, you know, they are sort of semi-independent from Somalia, you know. But although other countries are still saying Somaliland is not a recognized country, so they are in between being a semi-independent from Somalia and other countries too, you know. So I think that's a good one. So Julde, I've seen a story about agriculture. The rainy season is coming.
Absolutely, and it says that the predictions are we're expecting the rains in early June, and of course, Tourism Minister signs regulations on National Endowment Funds for Arts and Culture.
I'm seeing something very impressive. I'm seeing watermelon during the dry season. I'm seeing, yesterday I've seen corn, you know. So it's like we are having these fruits now, you know, even during the dry season, not only rainy season, Mr. Mboch. I mean, I think that's good.
How much? What's the price? How much are you buying it for?
It's expensive. It will not be of the same price from, you know, those that they sell during the rainy season. You know, but I think it's good to have them. You want watermelon during the dry season? I mean, you go get it. You don't only depend on rainy season to get watermelon.
Mr. Bartlett, I mean, if we are serious about agriculture, let's put in the right investments, have the right infrastructure in place and the like. Every once in a while you'll hear, what was it you said? Was it
the regulation
pumping in what, 500 million in agriculture dollars in agriculture? Yeah. That's it. So what are we going to do about it? I'm not sure. What's the strategy? I really do not know what they're going to do, what they're going to spend it on, really. So we just tend to get these news stories, these headlines, but again, you don't get to the details, as it were. How is it going to be spent? What are we going to do? Are we going to support small businesses, as it were, small holders? Is it going to be the industrialization, bringing massive?
It's not, according to the story, it's not just agriculture, but financing of support to revival of the agricultural sector, growth of the financial sector, and construction of world-class tourism and trade logistics infrastructure in the Gambia.
Talking about world-class tourism, for goodness
infrastructure in the Gambia.
Oh, well. Next news item.
Well, I mean, for me, actually, I mean, I'm not confident with the agricultural sector, because a lot of money have been spent previous years. I mean, still now it didn't pay dividends. So I mean, I'll just wait and see what will happen when they talk about huge amount of money.
Sidat Job tells President Barrow to dissolve cabinet and call opposition to a roundtable meeting.
But did he tell us
Why?
Yeah, according to him, that is the only way that the government will work effectively, and you know, by bringing all the stakeholders from the opposition party to work together. And you know, of course, he attributed this to the local government elections and all that. So
I still do not understand it. What is it about the local government elections? Yeah. So, you know, that Sidat Job is advising government to bring opposition leaders, as it were, to a round table, a consensual, you call it.
Yeah.
But why? What are the issues? What's going on? I don't understand. Can you just give us a paragraph or two about what
he said? I advised
saying?
him to engage Halifa Sallah, Mama Kande, Bakari Bunja Dabo, Usaino Dabo, and all the opposition parties and ask for assistance to create a new cabinet which is consensual. We are not saying he should brutally get rid of his ministers. He can give them other functions, but let him definitely make a fresh start.
But from what?
Absolutely.
When I look at this, what do you call it, the results.
He said he will be taken seriously and there would be stability.
Well, you
in
know,
the country.
this local government election, people might think NPP lost. NPP did not lose anything. When you look at the chairmen that were at various, councils, they were either coalition chairmen or mayors. I mean, by then when they were elected in 2018, by then they were in coalition with President UDP. So you can see now it's 4-4. It's like NPP, now they have their own chairman and they have their people too. You know, but I know people are pointing out Greater Banjul area, Brikama, and
that's the hub of the country, Balde.
So
that is why they're saying perhaps they lost because.
No. Be careful. Let us be careful here with the logic. Yes, the fact that the NPP lost the metropole, what they call the metropole, Banjul, KMC, Brikama. That's huge. One must think about it.
Yeah.
But by winning, if you think that you've got the majority of the people behind you, that is not quite true. Let's take Brikama. UDP scored 77,000. They heard, yeah? NPP 55, 52. If I were to add 50, granted, if I were to add all of them, independent 24. If I were to add all of them, there will be more than 77.
Absolutely. You know, I added that
That's
the other time.
That is really what the logic is.
Yeah.
So it's not the majority.
Yeah.
If I were to add all the independents, NPP, and everybody else, that would be more than
that would be more than
77,000. So more people didn't vote for you.
Yeah.
So that is not true. The logic is not correct. It doesn't work that way
Exactly.
at all.
And I think, I mean, sometimes people will say whatever they want. You understand? It is now left to Barrow whether to decide to work with the opposition or not. You understand? There is an advantage of working with the opposition, but there is a disadvantage too of working with the opposition. You understand?
Well, if what they are calling it's anything to go by, I mean, Talib, both Talib, Rahim Malik Low, and of course the young staff, but they're calling on President Barrow to give them to be more accommodative, to give them room for development. I mean, they are calling for that.
Now, this is really the key. You are absolutely correct. Before the elections, we'd seen this kind of tension between the president and the mayors of Banjul and KMC, who were in the opposition party. So now we have to move beyond that. Otherwise, Banjul, KMC, Brikama, not much movement, nothing much will really happen. They have to let bygones be bygones and not be separated, as it were, creating this divide along political lines, political party lines.
Mr. Mboy, that's the point
really
there. That's the only problem.
That is the key.
Yes, that's when we are able to solve that, then we will be able to work smoothly. I mean, there won't be issues.
And now you wonder how much of a hindrance with this creation of the commission on the local government. Yeah. How much of it would it sort of continue this divisive, sort of unpleasant relationship between the two, when
Mr.
they
Mbodj,
really have
thank
to
you.
work
Thank you
together.
for coming.
Absolutely.
I am told your time is already up to go back to work. I know you have a lot on your desk today. So we will.
You are fired, Mr. Mbodj.
We will definitely.
Yeah,
we will definitely.
you're sounding like Trump, wasn't it? That program you had. Wasn't it? Yeah.
We will definitely say thank you to you for coming on the program. Although, I mean, you're told, you should be on the program this morning, and you endeavor to be here. Thank you, Mr. Mbodj. Yes, viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, we'll talk to the Ministry of Health on the vaccination campaign that they are they on the campaign or about to start the campaign?
I think they already started.
They've already started the campaign.
Yeah, they've already started the campaign.
All right, so we will hear from them after the break. We'll be back.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot Model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system, reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajibank, your investment partner.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. We innovate, others follow.
Opticalia is a leading European brand which is now in the Gambia. Are you looking for glasses? Then you have come to the right place. As a first step, we will perform an eye exam to ensure we prescribe the correct lenses for you. After that, you can select a frame of your choice. We have a variety of brands in stock, and you will definitely find yours. You can have the full package of frame plus lenses starting from $990 up to more for the most fashionable options. Once you find a frame you like, your lenses will immediately be edged by our lab technician. Within 30 minutes, you will be able to leave with your prescription glasses and a huge smile on your face. How amazing is that? Visit us at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week, or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123.
Yeah, so we are back, and you're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Obalde. After a very interesting engagement with Mr. Mamadou Mbodj, and we've learned a lot from him, and he was able to review the newspaper with us. And now let's talk about health in the Gambia, the health of our children. The Minister of Health embarking on a vaccination campaign. As you know, vaccination has been here for a very long time. You know, if I tell you the number of vaccines that I've taken when I was a baby, you know, it's a lot. So I know Jules did the same thing, and another person too. So let's engage them. Lady and gentlemen, you are welcome on the program.
Thank you.
Yes, this might be your first time here.
Yes, please.
But it's I cannot count the number of times you've been on this program.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, let's start with you.
I'm saying a very good morning to our viewers out there. I am Bayam Jom, and thank you for having me this morning.
Yes, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I am Bakalili Kijera. It is a pleasure to be here today. I'm working with the Experiment Program on Immunization. Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. So please take us through, Mbayang, this vaccination. We understand you are on the measles and the rubella vaccine campaign. So what about it?
The measles rubella vaccine, as we know, as a program under the Ministry of Health, the expanded program on immunization, embarking on this campaign to boost the immunity of susceptible children. Currently, as we speak, we had sporadic outbreaks of measles across some regions in the country, and also try to trace those children and also missed children that had missed their routine vaccines. And we've also, as much as possible, to make sure the target, that is children from 0 to 5 years, are being covered and they are fully vaccinated to be prevented from early childhood deadly diseases.
How are you going about this vaccination? Is it house to house, or how is it done, or is it just focusing on health centers?
The vaccination take in ways of or strategies we're using to deliver the vaccines to beneficiary. We're using fixed sessions that are the health facilities are having teams seated in there and waiting for people that are to be vaccinated to get the vaccines. And we are also using mobile teams moving from one community to another, and also from one strategic location to another within the communities. So they will not have to be moving house to house, but they will go as close as to the doorsteps of people to having them provided the services, and also having targeted the children that are from 0 to 5 years be vaccinated with MR and any other services that they're supposed to have.
When will this vaccination last?
It will last on Saturday the 27th. We started yesterday the 23rd.
So it's nationwide?
It's nationwide, exempting 2 regions. That's the North Bank West and also LRL, the Ruba River region. And apart from that, all other regions are doing it, and we're having it in 12 districts across the country.
Why were they exempted?
Exactly. That's important. Why?
They were exempted simply because if it, you can remember, sometime back in October, we had a similar campaign. And those regions obviously had vaccinated over 60% of their target. So obviously when it comes to getting their target, they had vaccinated more children than the regions that are doing the campaign currently. This is the reason why 12 districts are doing it within the 5 regions.
But do you think it is wise enough to not to involve a particular region when it comes to vaccinations? I think you need to involve everybody.
Everyone is involved. We are not giving them the MR campaign, but it doesn't mean that we are not giving services at all. We are targeting children that are defaulted or those that had missed their vaccines. So instead, it's an integrated MR campaign, not just merely giving the MR campaign. So we are targeting children that are 0 to 5 years, let's say babies that are born today to 5 years. Any services that they are supposed to have, they will surely be given once they visited the teams at their strategic locations.
Let's involve Mr. Kijera here. Tell us what you do and the importance of this vaccine.
Basically, vaccination is very important. It's the most cost-effective public health intervention. And then we believe that vaccines indeed work. In the Gambia, we started vaccination back in 1979, and from there up to date, the vaccination is ongoing. And then we have a lot of childhood vaccines that we are currently giving. So coming to this particular vaccines, we are this particular campaign, we are giving MR vaccine and also with mebendazole and vitamin. So the importance of these vaccines is to help to prevent measles, because we all know that measles is deadly. And then, like Brian mentioned, we have outbreaks of measles. Currently, we are dealing with in this country. And then also we have sporadic cases in some part of the districts. Like he did mention, not all the districts have been part of it, because areas where we are seeing cases, we are also concentrating in those areas. So we want to prevent measles and rubella. So this is why we are giving the vaccine, because measles, there's no, of course, it's a viral disease. There is no treatment for it. So we treat it based on symptoms. If you have conjunctivitis, we give antibiotics to prevent it. If you have cold, we ask you to drink a lot of fluid. So this is the way if you have pneumonia, because it also have consequences. So based on that, that's how we deal with it in order to prevent it. So vaccines is very cost effective, and then it's better for your child to get the vaccines rather than being killed.
So what are the causes of measles and rubella?
Yeah, like measles or rubella, measles specifically, it is caused by a virus, measles virus, and it can be transmitted from person to person via droplets, like it's an airborne disease.
Wow.
So, and when you talk about rubella, it looks like that of measles. We call it German measles. So, but this one, mostly it affects, like, if a woman is pregnant, between the first 8 to 10 weeks, that is the time. Once the woman is infected, it can affect the unborn fetus. So rubella can be transmitted.
So it's not only children who are infected, but women as well.
Yeah, because like measles, rubella, everyone is
I thought it's only limited to children.
No, but primarily it affects the under 5 and those that are weak, the unvaccinated. So you can see rubella can be transmitted also person to person because it's an airborne, but also you should also put into consideration transplanter, you understand, from mother to child. So this sometimes is cause miscarriages, and also it can also cause congenital rubella syndrome, a person born with one eye, small head, all funny kind of things. So rubella can be responsible of that as well. So you can see that this vaccination is very important. And then years back, we are not seeing these cases, but recently, because there is a decline in coverage, especially when COVID strike in this country. So we need to intensify it. We need to meet the people, because people are not coming on board like we expect. So this is the situation on the ground as we speak. Yes.
So what is your percentage that you want to cover? I mean, for the COVID-19 vaccine, we have a number, like a percentage that we want to cover. So what is the percentage, and how far have you gone since you started?
So far so good. We are aiming to target 48% of the children that are from 9 to 59 months. Because the last campaign we had, we only targeted 52% of those children. And we are intending to vaccinate over 150-something kids for this campaign.
So if, how often should one take this vaccine? Is it once?
It's not once per se. Okay. The vaccine is not new. It's the same vaccines that we are giving with our routine immunization, locally known as the NOS. So every woman that has a child knows I should attend the clinic once every month. So this MR is part of those vaccines that we give at 9 months. And we also give an other dose at 1 year, 6 months. But then still in the aim of making sure that we eliminate measles in the country and across the world, of course, every 4 years, the EPI, through the Ministry of Health, do conduct a campaign to also have children that we are not seroconverted during their immunization services, like the routine normal immunization services they've been taking, and also for those kids who had defaulted, and also those kids that had missed their vaccines. So this is the reason why we embark on such campaigns after every 4 years, to see that those children are prevented and they also like live longer.
So how are you strategizing, I mean, the dispensation of this vaccine? I mean, are you going to their homes, or are you meeting them at marketplaces, or you're waiting for them to come and meet you at a particular location?
Yeah, so there are 2 approaches, like she did mention. We have the fixed approach and also the mobile approach. In all the health facilities in this country, including the private clinics, there will be vaccination teams there. So for the mobile approach, So the teams will be in markets, in bantabas, in schools, especially the kindergartens and also the daycare centers. So, but the idea here is we want to get closer to the people, even if it warrants us to get into the compounds, just to ensure that this innocent child is being vaccinated.
So how contagious are these viruses? If you're infected, how long does it take for it really to,
to manifest?
Exactly.
Yes, that's a very important question. Like incubation period is about up to 10 to 20 days, but also once you are infected with this virus, between 10 to 12 days, you started having initial symptoms. We call it initial symptoms. And how did it start? You have fever, you also experience running nose, and then at a point also you have these tiny white spots on your body. So after several days, now it will turn to rash, and you also have reddish eyes. So this rash will start from the head and then to the neck, and it comes downwards. So you can see that it is very important for you to put strategies in place for someone to be affected with it, because it's very deadly. But so far, as we speak, in years back in 1997 or so, there were outbreaks of measles. The Gambia recorded so many deaths. But because of our vitamin A supplementation and good nutrition, of course, we are not recording deaths. But like the number of cases are on the rise.
All right, I think Julde.
Is that all?
That's important. No, I mean...
I thought
in addition to what he've said, like I said, we're giving an integrated services. We're seeing children or tracing children that had missed their vaccines. So as we're targeting children that are 0 to 5 years, we're giving the vaccine, the MR vaccine, the measles rubella vaccine itself, to children that are 9 months to 5 years. We are also giving vitamin A to children that are 6 months to 5 years, and we are also giving the deworming tablets, the mebendazole, to children that are 1 year to 5 years. So these are all the services inculcated in the campaign that we are giving. So it's not just the vaccine.
I was about to ask that. It's like you're in my mind. So, but you said it's this particular virus. Everybody can have that. Now the campaign focuses on children. Do you have plans of, translating this to the adults as well? Because they are the most vulnerable. I mean, I go out every day. My son is at home. He is not doing anything. So the likelihood of me contacting the virus and transmitting it to my son is very high.
So this campaign, it goes with cost. Okay. I can remember back in 2015.
You always like saying cost.
Oh yes, it goes with cost. But one thing also we should put at the back of our mind is this campaign, normally in every 4 years, we bring it on board. Okay. So we believe those that are above 5 now, they must have gotten their series. So this is why we are concentrating on the under 5, and then I did mention that primarily those that are under 5 are highly affected. And you know that their immune system is not as strong, because you eat meat. And then, but there is one critical thing that is very important. In all the health facilities, there are also separate teams that have been set up. These teams, what are their functions? They'll be going to the compounds or into the communities in order to see defaulters, because there are a lot of them that they have either stopped going to the clinic or they've relaxed or whatsoever reasons. So there are other vaccines that will also be given, because we have penta vaccines, pneumococcal vaccines, we have hepatitis vaccines, we have yellow fever vaccines, and even including this MR. So this person, once they go into the community, they will ask for the infant welfare card of children. So the moment you are a defaulter, or you've not been going to the clinic for some time, this is also an opportunity for you in order to get other vaccines.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's interesting. Finally, how far have we gone with the COVID-19 vaccine?
COVID here?
Yeah.
Or MR?
MR.
COVID. So far, so good. We are planning to have COVID on the 5th of next month, if everything goes on well. So we'll be coming back with COVID again. And as usual, we'll be targeting ages 12 to above. And shortly before we just wrap up with this campaign, with the question that you also asked, in addition to the answers he gave, we also have surveillance officers as to why we are targeting children. Like he said, it involves cost. And you know, vaccines are very expensive. And children being the most vulnerable, and being our future leaders, we are making sure we build them up to be those good future leaders and healthy future leaders we always wanted them to be. But then we're saying the adults, please, the person should not neglect any signs or symptoms that
the producer said, director said it's time.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mbayang, unfortunately, we will have to, yes, all right. Julde, this is all we have for today until tomorrow, inshallah. Well, viewers, I mean, allow your kids to take the vaccine. They will be coming round to vaccinate your children. Or call 1025 if you have any information regarding this vaccine. The program is sponsored by Opticalia. Until we come here again tomorrow, have a wonderful day.